we're going to talk about 3 types of bassinets. We're going to talk about your traditional type of bassinet, a smart bassinet, and a Playard. So traditional bassinet, this is kind of what you think of when you just think of a standard old bassinet. Kind of classic, kind of timeless, no plugs, no wires, no Wi-Fi, limited movement. Sometimes they will bounce a little, sometimes they will sway a little, but you're not plugging this in. It's not doing anything fancy. Materials vary. The higher end ones usually are solid wood. The lower end ones are usually a mix of wood and plastic and other materials. One is not better than the other. They are all very safe. Again, these also have to pass safety standards. It's just kind of a, preference of what you prefer. Price range, you can get a very good bassinet for $100. You can also get a very good bassinet for $600. There is a pretty wide range. The advice I like to give people is try to think about how long you're thinking the baby is going to stay in the bassinet. Most people kind of have a feeling like, I think I want this baby in my room for a long time. I want them in the bassinet as long as possible. Or if you're gonna have multiple kids and you're like, I want this to be passed down for, multiple children, then maybe it does make sense registering for a higher priced one. If you're like, I don't need anything fancy, I don't need anything very complicated, I just want somewhere safe for baby to sleep, then the lower end price-wise ones are, as I said, gonna be just as good. They're just gonna have less features. But I've used both high end and low end, and both are wonderful. This right here is the Newton Baby Bassinet. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Newton crib mattress. That's kind of how Newton got their start. What that is a fully breathable crib mattress. You can literally hold it up and stick your face in it and breathe right through it. Again, safety-wise, is it safer than all the other crib mattresses on the market? No. It's more that peace of mind. Sleep is a very anxiety-producing thing, especially for a new parent, especially in those first couple months. I use the Newton. I liked that if my baby turned their face or kind of at some point they will start to roll, they were face down on the crib, they could breathe right through it. Kind of just gave me peace of mind. This has that mattress size down in bassinet size. This one also has a drop down side. Newton also makes what they call their essential bassinet, which is a little less expensive, and it does not have the drop down side, and it does not adjust height wise, or it might adjust a little less, but also a very good bassinet that I've used and love. Smart bassinets are kind of the tech-forward version of the bassinet. So that is the SNOO that you were seeing right there. What does that mean? It means they have smart features. Usually that involves auto response and auto movement. So these bassinets are going to sense your baby's cries. They're going to learn your baby's cries over time, and they are going to respond with gentle movement. Rocking, bouncing, music, white noise, all different things. The SNOO, which you're seeing here, also comes with a built-in swaddle. So you kind of zip them up into this little swaddle. It's built right into the bassinet. So that keeps them on their back, and back is the safest way for babies to sleep. Smart bassinets are app-enabled for monitoring, for control. They do require a plug, obviously. They require Wi-Fi and electricity. And price-wise, you are going to see a big jump between a traditional and a smart. These are going to start around $1,000. There's a few that are a little less expensive and go up to about $1,700. So this is the SNOO that you're seeing here, the Happiest Baby SNOO. This is one of the most popular. The Cradle-wise is another smart bassinet that you should check out that is also really popular with Babylist registrants. What I like to tell people about the SNOO, there is a rental option as well. So if you are kind of on the fence and you're like, I don't know if I want to commit to this bassinet, you can rent it month to month with no commitment, which I really like because it's a lower cost way of sort of trying it out to see if this is something your baby likes. A lot of the times you're not going to know until baby is here. Some babies really, really love the SNOO. Some babies just don't need that level of movement. I have 2 kids. One of them was much more movement dependent than the other. My first could have cared less. You could have put him on the floor and he would have fallen asleep. My second was like, what are we doing? Like, we need to be moved around constantly. So I used a movement-based bassinet. So Playards are something that you don't normally think of when you think of a bassinet, but the reason we wanted to include them here is because they are a pretty valid option. A Playard is what you're seeing here. This is the Graco Pack and Play Close to Baby. So a Playard like this is multifunction. You can use it for sleep. You can use it for diaper changes. So this is a little diaper area right here. And you can use it for play. This is a little newborn lounger. This has 2 sleep spaces. If you took these off of here, this is a raised bassinet here. And then this is more your traditional Playard. So this all pops off when you don't need it any longer, and you can just use it as a play space. These will grow with your baby from the newborn days all the way through into toddlerhood. You can use this as a bassinet. If you're like, I don't need more things, you can definitely take this, put it in your room, take off all that top stuff, and use that top level. You can also use a traditional Playard. So say none of this is here and you're just looking at this Playard. The benefit of something with a raised bassinet is in the beginning, you don't want to be down and up with that little baby all the time. It's just rough on your back. So I like that this has a raised surface. Again, it's a workhorse, you're saving space, it's reducing the amount of gear that you need. The downside, it is large, it is heavy, it's pretty bulky, but you can use it for travel if you need a place for baby to sleep, say like at grandparents or somewhere like that. So this is great.
I like to say this is the veteran parent move because you're probably going to either register for one of these or have one because they're so great to travel with. They're so easy to take around. But a lot of people don't realize that you could also use it for bassinet time because bassinets you can't use for that long. You can only use them for a number of months in the beginning.
We see this a lot. So I had my first baby in New York City and this was a popular option, something like this, because people just didn't have room for, a separate bassinet and a separate changer and a separate whatever. So they use something like this. Price-wise, it really runs the range, anywhere from about $100 to $400 or $500. And again, that price difference is just going to be features, materials, but all of them are very safe.
What's the top left thing for?
That is a newborn lounger. So like not for sleep, but just like and it pops off. So if you want to like take a shower or just like have the baby not on the floor, it's just like a little seat for them to hang out in.
Okay, so we went to Target. We bought 2 of them.
Okay.
And one had a softer cushion. The other one had more like a plywood cushion.
Okay.
What do you guys recommend?
So and again, we're going to go back to safety standards. They're all passing the same safety standards. You want a firm sleep surface, and the definition of firm is defined by those standards. You can actually go read about it. It is very complicated, but they have to pass a certain firmness. So they test it with like different weights. I don't have a personal preference. As long as it passes, then which these do, then like it doesn't really matter.
Your baby hasn't slept on a super soft mattress.
I know.
They don't know.
Crib mattresses in general tend to be pretty hard, and you will probably feel them and be like, this cannot possibly be comfortable. It's fine.
They love them.
They don't know the difference.